Hey, it's Eric Keach today. I'm here with James McLaren, another amazing client, and here to talk about James's story, but not just the story. We're going to find out some details and talk about business, talk about where he was, where he is now, and we're going to talk about how it's kind of changed his life, his lifestyle, and everything else in between. So, James, thank you for doing this. I really do appreciate taking the time to come on here. All right.
Hi, you're welcome.
So let's set the stage. Let's talk about the backstory. Kind of, obviously, you went to them because you needed something wasn't right, or you needed to improve on something. So where were you before? What was going on in business and life before you started working with them?
Okay, so I opened the gym in January of 2017. The very first year, I had no right to open a gym at that period of time, but I opened a gym. The very first year was very much a learning curve of how to run a business, how to run a gym, how to get results for people. It was a massive learning curve. Within the first year, we didn't massively grow at all, really. Like I said, I kind of looked at it more of a learning experience for the first year. And then when it got to like kind of January, so like 12 months on, 12, 14 months on, I was just like, it's kind of one of those things where we weren't growing. I knew I had like a marketing problem because I wasn't getting enough leads in, I wasn't getting enough sales. And Einstein says the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expect a different outcome. So I realized I needed some help because I wasn't getting the results that I wanted by myself. So when I contacted like Think Tank, I think we had about 45 members at the time, something like that. And over the course of the first 8 weeks, sales went up dramatically. So like our 30-day, we call it 30-day challenge or 30-day trial, whatever you want to call it. We were averaging about eight sales a month, which is like poor, really, by all accounts. And when I look back at it now, within the first month, we got like 30 sales within the first 4 weeks of working with them, and it's kind of like a guarantee that they have as well. So it's like, oh, well, this has come to fruition way quicker than expected because the time frame is like 8 weeks. We've got like 30 within the first 4 weeks with it, and it's just grown from there. So like numbers wise, in March we had, I think it was 52 members. We're now at 107 currently, so we nearly doubled in like the last 6 months. We should be at capacity within the next 2-3 months.
What were you feeling during that time? What was going on, like personally? Were you just stressed? Were you struggling with things? What was going on there?
Um, so like the gym was making enough money to tick over. So I had one member of staff at a time. I wasn't having issues paying him. I'm not like we weren't struggling. Don't get me wrong, but I was getting very frustrated about the fact that I've taken on this massive responsibility of running a gym, and like it's not going to the heights that it really should be. Like I've got, it's not a massive facility; it's like 1,300 square foot, but it's like I know that I should be getting a certain number of people through the door, and it's just not happening. And like with the amount of people that are coming through the door and the amount of people that you leave, you're just like kind of like just breaking even constantly, and you're kind of like bashing your head off the wall, going, what am I going to do to grow? So yeah, it was really frustrating because I knew the gym had way more potential than what it was living up to at that period of time. I was really frustrated with where I was at. I knew the gym had way more. I knew I was willing to work hard enough to get it to where it needed to be. I just needed some direction and guidance to get me moving in the right direction with things. So I started questioning quite a lot of things, really, like why do I even have this building? Why am I even doing this type thing? Because don't get me wrong, we're helping a certain amount of people, but we should have been helping more. So yeah, very frustrating period of time. Knew we had more, prepared to work enough to get the results that I wanted from it, but I just needed that direction and guidance to move forwards.
Okay, so we'll go into a little bit more about the results in just a second. But I'm curious to know about what the actual experience is like once you hopped on board and started working with them. Can you kind of explain what that's like? Tell me first of like what's it like working with their team? What's that experience? What it's been like for you?
Um, yeah, like they have experts that work in their team. There's experts that work in like Facebook marketing. There's someone that deals with the financials. You've got like an amazing salesperson who kind of sells you into it in some respects. But you can do what was kind of good about it is like you can pick off his knowledge. His knowledge is exceptional when it comes to sales. I think some of my main some of my main triumphs has come from that person that actually I hate using the word sold, but sold me onto the program, in all honesty, because he gives all of his knowledge from it. It was just got Trav and Livis. And live at the tip of your fingertips, are always there to like answer questions and stuff like that. They how can I put it? You feel part of something when you enter that group, and they are like the first like 8 weeks, for example. You know, they give you a lot of accountability to make sure that you are moving in the right direction, and that, you know, if they need to take a hands-on approach in order to do it. It didn't have to with me, but I saw it with other people in the group that they took a bit more of a hands-on approach to make sure they were moving in the right direction. They're going to do that. So they really care, and they are quite relentless in ensuring that people get the outcome that they want.
Yeah, relentless in a good way though, not like
Oh yeah,
yeah,
no,
like just really on you, holding you accountable.
Yeah, 100%.
Now, tell me about this, because I know we were talking before recording, you know, some of the numbers and data. I know that's a big thing. Like, you were doing things before a certain way. Now you're working with them, doing things differently. How important was it to kind of focus on actually seeing what the data is, what your numbers are, and knowing that's a way to start moving and building your business off of that?
The game changer, actually, how simple maths actually gets you the results. And like Trav talks about it all the time in some of like his podcasts and stuff like that. It's actually just simple maths that gets you the outcome. And actually, when you start believing in the simple maths, life becomes actually quite a lot easier. So they did a really good job of like just simplifying things, and actually it's not as complicated as like I maybe initially thought.
Yeah, so focusing on the numbers, the math, the data, did it take kind of the emotion away from some of it, and it was like, all right, these are just what the numbers are, I'm going to just do it to get these types of things?
In some respects, like, okay. But that's the reality of like growing the business. So like the numbers are crucial. If people are not looking at their numbers, like, what are you doing? The numbers are telling you something.
So you've got this team, you've got this support, and all of us. Now, you were talking about a little bit before kind of how you started, numbers, where you were, where you are now. Can you just again repeat that? Like, so where were you client number wise then, and then where are you now?
So back in March, we had 57 members. We're currently now on 107 members.
Okay.
In 6-7 months.
That's pretty quick. that's pretty huge. You know, more than double in just that time. So what were you looking at revenue wise? Like, where were you before? Where are you now?
So back then it was around around 10,000 a month, something like that. We're now last month we hit 22 grand a month. So it's gone up quite substantially.
That's pretty good. And then what have you noticed? Obviously, those are some of the number side of things, but what have you noticed about the business itself? Like, how has the business shifted in terms of maybe systems, structure? What have you noticed there?
When more people came on board, I like before when my first member of staff that I had, he was like he was a self-contractor, so like he wasn't like employed. So I made him employed, and when he became employed, I wouldn't say he wasn't committed before, but became more committed once he was a part of something. I then took on another member of staff, and as well, just back in June, like 3-4 months ago, and having those two members of staff, like it excites me to get up in the morning to make sure that I have this gym so they can serve not only our members, but obviously like support their families, and that's like been huge for me. Like I get a buzz out of doing that every single day.
How about for you personally? What have you noticed? Have you noticed it's maybe a little bit more maybe peace of mind on things, like not as stressful? Have you seen things along there because now you starting to put things in place that weren't there before?
Like I have much more clarity about like what I want from the gym and what I want it to like provide for myself and like for my members of staff, and obviously for our members, I have much more clarity on like that now, and that in some respects that does give me less stress, if that so to speak, when you're really sure on what you want out of it and how you're going to go about doing it from a lifestyle perspective. Like I still do really work quite hard. I mean, I'm trying to get a bit more balance on weekends and stuff now. So it has given me a little bit of time back, and I do focus more on this, like the really important things. Like, don't get me wrong, coaching on the gym floor is really important, but actually, like if people are not coming through the door, and we're not trying to keep people who are trying to leave, you know, that's more important right now, and that's more of my priority now than I love coaching on the gym floor, but that has to take. I can't do as much of that if I'm going to make this business successful.
So in the time we're doing this, it's been about 6 months, 8 months, right?
Yeah.
Would you go, I mean, gym has grown significantly. So would you go as far as to say that it's been life changing for you in one aspect?
Oh, 100%. Like, I wouldn't want to think if I was still in the same position now that I was in February. I, I, I think I'd be massively wounded, and I probably would have given notice on my lease because it's just like this is not working for me.
Yeah. Yeah. So now you,
Probably.
yeah. So now you don't got to worry about that. You move all these things,
Yeah, absolutely. Like
doing so much better.
I would be probably borderline depressed and just not have that clarity. I guess like I've been doing this for two
Yeah.
years and getting nowhere. So
Yeah.
like,
Okay. So you've gone through all this. Now, what I want to do is we'll just start wrapping up, just shift gears quickly. I want to ask you just a few questions about Travis and Liv. So generally
mhm.
together, I guess, can you explain, right? They're good coaches. They're good at what they do and help you, but can you kind of describe just a few words or phrases, the type of people that they are?
um, passionate. Both of them, very very passionate. Tenacious. Trying to
Do
think
they
of the
care?
word. Oh, 100%. They really do care. They're inspiring. Like how
Mm,
their work ethic and their ethos towards just getting something done is just like you can't help but like be drawn to it. It's like actually those are good people to have around you, and actually you can learn a lot from these people and the way that they conduct themselves and how they run a business. Like they're not like constantly like just really boring, mundane people. They actually have a bit about them. They have some personality that they like to have a laugh, and that's probably one of the main reasons why people stick around with them and get results with them because they're
gotcha.
likable people.
Gotcha. Okay. Start wrapping up. So let's say someone, right? They're in a really similar position to where you were before you hopped on board, started working with them. Let's say they're just kind of banging their head, things aren't growing, they're frustrated, they're stressed out. They're thinking
Mm-hmm.
about joining the program, but they're still on the fence. They're 50-50. What would you tell them to push them off the fence?
Um, so like we obviously mentioned how good the team is. In some respects, like what they offer, like it's kind of a no brainer what they offer for the cost of the program versus how much like it pays for itself. It's an absolute no brainer to have I don't know how long they do it for now, but like to have that level that quality of team promising you those results, and you're going to learn so much along the way. It's just a no brainer. Like having to think about it is like it might ridiculous in all honesty when you look at it on paper what you're getting offered, and even from that obviously financials are important, but from a financial perspective as well, it's an absolute no brainer that they're offering you this, which is actually going to pay for the program.
James, thank you for taking the time. I know you're super busy with everything going on, working in program with your clients, but I appreciate you coming on here, taking the time to share your story. And I just want to wish you the best of luck with everything moving forward.
I appreciate it.
All right, take care.
Thank you. You too.